The mic drop. The mic drop. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Big Mic Drop. This is the love episode, and I have a very, very special guest with me today. We have, not only is she a life purpose coach, she's dope as hell. She's getting the goal setting. I mean, she's helping people with healing. She's been on a healing process herself, and she's doing great. But one thing that makes her so special is that the same blood runs through our beautiful black veins. So she is also my cousin. So what's up, Coach Dee?
What's good, cousin? How are you, baby?
I'm good. Good. What you
I'm
got?
in a celebratory mood.
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day, early.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Love Day to you and yours.
Yes.
Most likely to yourself first.
Absolutely.
Happy Love Day. I'm having a great I'm actually celebrating. We're going to talk about why I'm celebrating, but we're kicking back. I'm celebrating. I'm so glad to be on with you today. I'm excited about, getting right into it. Let's rock. Let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it. So I'm just gonna start right at the top. I'm gonna start with what I see. I'm gonna freestyle a little bit.
Okay.
Hashtag free love. Hashtag
free love.
Then you can be loved freely.
Free love. That's my merchandise, y'all. Merchandise. Free love. Now, we all talk about, we love stuff that's free, right?
Absolutely.
Love is the one thing that should be free. But the reason why love isn't free is because we place so many demands on how people should love us, on who should love us, on how love is supposed to go down. So that what happens is you have all these stipulations on love, and then no one is free to really love you freely. Nobody's free to love or be loved freely because there's all these different stipulations and things that go along with that. But love is freeing in itself if you allow people to be who they want to be in your life, not who you want them to be. Because when you allow them to be who they want to be and they're there freely giving you that love, I'm telling you, it's an amazing thing. But when you are demanding and people aren't meeting what your expectations are, then you feel a little let down. You feeling like people aren't meeting your. It's all about how you view love. And that is why we are here, because of how I viewed love so many years. For a half a century, how I viewed love, how I saw things was so wrong. It was not freeing. I was bound because of how I viewed love. So basically, there we go.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So a lot, the crowd doesn't know. You're from Philadelphia, originally, South Philly. Am I?
South Philly, born and raised. I'm from the Nickel, actually.
You're from the Nickel.
The Nickel, that's Fifth Street, South
Explain to
Philly.
people that don't know what the Nickel is.
The Nickel, the number 5, Fifth Street, the project, Southwark.
Yes.
Southwark made, baby.
Hey, and you know what's funny about Philly, though, about the fam up in Philly, is that y'all are actually in closer proximity to more family than we were down in Alabama.
Well, everything's too many miles away down in Alabama.
Yeah, like we had
everybody in the sticks
all throughout the the 5th Street, 6th Street, 7th Street, just all over.
Oh yeah, we could walk and see family, man. We could yeah.
Mad family. So yeah, man, that was one thing that I thought was real love up there in Philadelphia. So what was it like? You moved to Los Angeles and explain that, that whole change in environment. Like, what was that like moving? What made you move? What precipitated that move?
Well, my move started as a weekend invitation. Okay. I got a weekend invitation to come out and see Chris G's. Everybody know Chris G's is my baby. I had a hand in raising him, and he was going to be performing in BET Celebration of Gospel in March of 2013. So he invited me to come out. My husband at the time was not happy about that because he only sent one ticket. And I came out. And when I came, I am speechless. I can't even think of the words. When I got here, it was like everything was waiting for me. Like everything, everyone, everything I thought I was missing, anything, it was all here. So Monday came around for the same weekend. And I told Chris, I said, I really don't want to go home. He said, well, then don't. I said, oh, I can stay? He said, after all you've done for me, you think I would tell you can't stay here? Oh, I was like, all right, well, cool. Sis ain't going home. So I picked up the phone and I called my husband at the time and I said, I won't be coming back.
Oh, wow. What was his reaction? Like, what was the first thing? This is a nice Valentine's Day to get kicked off. What was his reaction to that?
It's hilarious right now. It was March, so it wasn't Valentine's Day.
Okay.
One of the things I want to preface by saying, my story is my story. Right. Anything that includes anyone else, I'm going to be truthful about the situation. But I'm not here to vilify anyone.
Right.
Everybody's process is different. I was married to somebody who didn't like me, honestly. And because I didn't like myself, I was okay with that for quite a bit. So when I told him I wasn't coming back, we were not at our best place, but we weren't like totally tore up. But what I knew was that I had made a mistake marrying somebody that I did not know, that I did not truly love, honestly. So therefore, there was many factors as to my unhappiness. But what I believe is when Chris made that call for me to come, there was something in that, destiny was calling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So right. it worked out for the best.
Right. Well, I obviously, because now you've gone through this flowering. I can't even hardly say that word, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
It's like you've gone through a rebirth, a renaissance. Since
absolutely.
You've been out there and
absolutely.
And seeing where you come from. I'm not saying you were bad, but you know what I'm saying, to see you kind of just break the chains and like be free. I'm happy for you. You're an inspiration to me. You're inspiration to men and women alike, and I think everybody can value and extract value from your story. So that's exactly why I had you on.
Yeah, one of the most amazing things about once I've gotten into this life coaching thing is that I always thought I was called only to women. And so far, my focus groups, my exchanges, my clientele, people who I have trained, who I have coached, have been male.
Right.
So it really opened. First, love is universal, and to realize that I was limiting myself by thinking, okay, I started this whole thing. Now it's necessary. I started this thing called the Sisterhood Intensive Care Unit because I felt that I was meeting destiny. I knew that from where I come from, being so insecure, so having so much self-hatred, having just listen, I was so lost before I left Philadelphia. I decided I was going to drive my car into the Delaware. There's something called Ride the Ducks. And it's this bus that's a boat, but it's a bus.
Yeah,
right?
Boat, yeah.
You either a bus or a boat. Pick one. I'm not getting on. You pick one. You're going to be a bus, and then you're going to ride into the river and be a boat. No, I'm good with that. Yeah. But anyway, and most of the people, excuse me, most of the people in Philly, we don't do too much of the tourist stuff anyway. Right. But because that tourist attraction runs, there's a space that is open right around Arch Street near the Ben Franklin Bridge where that bus can ride down the ramp and just go into the river. And on one particular day, I decided I was going to ride down it because I can't swim. It was going to be over. It was going to be quick. And I was on that ramp trying to make up my mind how I was going to let this gas pedal go. And instead of letting the gas pedal go, I'm sitting here, bawling, crying. Next thing I know, here come the popo. Somebody had called the police while I'm trying to make my decision about, just going on into this water. Thank God he saw fit for me to not go down. Right. And so, the cops would talk to me like, what's wrong? What's so bad? And we're talking blah, blah, blah. So they carried me over to Hall of Mercer, which everybody in Philly know as the Nut House. They take me there. I'm talking to a counselor, and she's talking to me, asking me what happened. I'm talking to her. And she's like, well, when you hurt yourself, we can't let you go. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you got to stay. So I spent 6 days on a locked unit. 6 days. Let me tell you something. You don't know crazy till you seen crazy. And then you be like, but I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy. Nah, right. Yeah, because, yeah.
Absolutely. Listen, so many years, everybody be like, Lonnie crazy. That's my nickname. I don't let many people know that I said that out loud. But everybody's like, Lonnie so crazy.
I won't bust you.
You wasn't going to tell everybody? It's okay.
Bust you out.
I'm so free now. I'm going to say it. So, everybody's be like, Wani crazy, crazy, Wani. I used to be like a little nickname kind of thing because I've always been very, outgoing, jokey kind of person.
Right.
But no, sis ain't crazy. Sis all crazy. When I got in there, the second day I was there, I'm walking down the hall and saw one of my childhood friends who I've known since forever. But he one of the ones that he the dude that's in there to tighten you up if you want to act up.
Right.
He was like, why? No. Like, yo, ain't nothing this bad. Look, what's up? He pulled me into the room, snatched me in the room and, talked to me, prayed with me, encouraged me, told me what he saw, how he always saw me. You know what I mean? It was like every step in my life, even in my lowest points, I have seen where purpose comes in and pushes me.
Right.
I used to be a person who used to feel like, why things go so bad for me. Things can't, things always went wrong for me. People do me wrong. This happens to me, that happens. And that can settle some people into that depressed state. But what I discovered in that is that I'm exceptional. And because I'm exceptional, stuff ain't easy for me. It's
Right.
never been easy for me because I'm called to such a higher standard. So therefore, my entire walk, my entire story, all of that, everything that we are the sum total of our experiences.
Yes.
But
Absolutely.
it is not just, you don't come all this way just to say I came all this way. I don't come this far. I ain't come this far and say, well, I came this far. I came this far. And now I'm amazed that I came this far. And so now what love says is I go back and bring somebody else up this far. Then
Absolutely.
I make some more steps and I go back and get some more.
Now,
That was a long answer. I don't know what the question was now.
it's all good. But when you left Philly, I mean, we kind of get an idea, and I get an idea. I had no idea that you went through that. And even within family, man, we might not discuss that. Even if somebody knows that, we're not really going to discuss
Right.
each other's, mental health business like that. Other
Right.
like, girl, you just crazy or whatever. But I think that what I saw of you when you got to Los Angeles, you started like on this real creative journey.
Mm-hmm.
What was you started out event planning and wedding planning?
Well, the thing is,
How did you?
actually, the wedding, I recently retired from that. I've been doing that for 20. I just saw the other day somebody whose wedding I did, they were married 26 years. So
Okay,
I've been doing this a long time.
right. Okay,
Um, but what happened is I had this dream of being a celebrity event planner. So I came out here and with Chris being connected, Chris's friends became my friends.
right.
So I didn't know anybody. And Chris works in the industry, so I got to meet a lot of people and be connected to a lot of people, and things just it just happened from there. And because basically those were the people who I was connected with, those are the people who I did the events for. So it kind of like it actually really worked out.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I mean, I guess that was during the advent of social media, really. So I guess it was like once again just an opportunity for me to see it on display because I didn't know, man. I mean, just some of the ideas that you were putting forth and the creativity and the things, the arrangements,
Oh
arrangements.
yeah. Oh
God,
yeah. Well, I
you
had
had
a name back in Philly. I had a name back in Philly for, unique weddings. Like from my own. My wedding was phenomenal.
right.
I'm the first one. No, the second one. Was it the second? Yeah, it was the second.
Oh
I
man,
married my first husband 3 times.
you
I
married your
married
first husband 3 times.
I married my first husband 3 times. What's up, Darren? That's my dog. I
Yeah.
love him.
Okay. Okay.
I love him. That's my dog.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's my dog. Uh but the weddings. I never advertised. Every single wedding that I did was based off of word of mouth from something I did before. I never got into advertising, I never got into the marketing piece, none of that until I actually got here. So everything that I've been doing for years, the name Wedding Diva, that I didn't take that on. That name was given to me because I was really that good. I am really that good.
Right. Nice. You are you're excellent actually.
Yeah, I am really that good.
From that and you moving on to the next phase.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
you were in church pretty heavy to the
Yes.
point of being known as Minister D and Pastor D. So
When people ask me about church, I tell them I did 31 years hard time on the inside. And guess what? The time ain't gotta be hard.
right.
It ain't gotta be hard. Um, I can say this: there's a lot of wounded people. There's a lot of wounded people.
Absolutely.
There is a lot of imagine your imagine you have a gauge, and here is your love gauge, here is your sensitivity, here is your uh here is your esteem,
Right.
right?
Right.
So imagine red, green, yellow lights should be lit when you are whole. Your gauge is lit, like it's on full. All
Right.
those things are on full.
Right.
But imagine the esteem gauge is out.
Mm.
What's those initials? Esteem, gauge, out, ego. What happens with that is I have no esteem. The only thing, since this light is out, you know how sometimes a fuse blows and they have like a backup plan and that backup kicks in? When your esteem is out, the backup is ego.
Right.
This thing is scrambling to the top. This thing is defending. This thing is nasty. This thing is envious. This thing is, when the light is out, you're replacing that thing. You're trying to replenish and replace. You're trying to stand on your own because everything makes you feel like this.
Right.
So what I know, and I'm going to speak personally for myself, is that being a person who was wounded, and when you come into a space with other people whose esteem gauge is out, everybody operates on that same thing. Now, the only way I'm going to feel better is if I get healed and whole.
Right.
But that does not happen all the time. Folks are scrambling, and what happens is I'm damaged, you're damaged, and the only way I'm going to be able to feel better is I get my title and I can stand over you.
Right.
I am not enough by myself. But when I got this title that says that I'm this, this, and this, I've earned this. Everybody's talking about promotion come from the Lord, promotion come from, everybody wants to be promoted. Don't nobody want to stand down here. Don't nobody. What I discovered is that everyone talks about in the church, get a personal relationship with Jesus. Right. He's a personal savior. I know him to be a personal savior. Why so many folks meddling in our personal business? Me and my personal savior. So much meddling, so much. It's just. So now I'm already short on esteem, but now I got to be sat down because I'm not this or I'm not that. Honey, listen, sat down. I got stories of being sat down in every church I've been in.
Right.
And for a person who is already suffering or already feeling beneath, what I did was, we all have trauma from our childhood, and a lot of times our child is acting for us. Our child is present for us. Our child is showing up in all these different places. And my child was very present in church because the healing that was necessary, a lot of times there's too much noise going on. There's very little healing and a lot of jockeying for position. Everybody's a prophet. Everybody is and nobody wants to just be used. Everybody wants to be titled to be used. I was one. I needed to be titled to be used because nobody dealt with love from the core. And the same thing happens as children. Before you get to the church, if you got the love thing before you got out the house,
right, everything will be all right. Whole nother story. But okay, that kind of leads into one of the concepts that we were talking about, because I actually got a chance to get a little sneak peek of the book coming out. Who's Loving You, Boo?
Yes, it's Valentine's weekend, and I'm so glad. Yes, and it's all about love. It's all about love. It's all about love.
But you touched on a good point right there. Is we were talking about this thing called ancestral trauma.
Ancestral trauma. Okay, let me just give you an idea.
Right.
Let's take the concept of Santa Claus, Christmas. Okay. Let's take the concept of Santa Claus. If you take this concept of Santa Claus, can we go and talk to the people who created this whole thing? Can we have a seat? Can we talk to them? No, they're ancestors. They're generationally, this thing has been going on.
Right.
Right? However, we are still subject to the fallout or the uh, results of whatever these people created years ago. And that goes across the board. That can be within families, what the rules are, what is determined as law in the house that you grew up in. Right. It's very hard to veer away from that when you get into the regular parts of your life, because all of your life you're told that this is law. Well, this is the world.
Emil Durkheim said those were social facts.
Absolutely.
Those are things that exist before we existed, and things that will exist and continue to exist after these, or strongholds. These are things that you have no say-so over.
We call them limiting beliefs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Limiting beliefs.
Absolutely. Have you ever read a book called The Four Agreements? It talks about that.
I actually quote that in my book.
Yes. Okay.
The domestication of children. And one of the things that do you have the manuscript? Were you want to read something?
Yeah, I actually do. I think I got just a few chapters that you sent me here.
Okay, but you can just read a few pieces of what it is that you wanted to address.
Yeah,
absolutely. That way I won't be all over the place, because honey, I can listen.
Absolutely.
One thing y'all know about me, I can talk. I'm celebrating the release of my book. And, while we're talking about it, it's Valentine's weekend. I used to always be so tore up when this time came, because I never had a Valentine's Day. Even when I was married, I never had a Valentine's Day. And because I always wondered, I'm looking at somebody else, and all the girls are getting flowers at work years and years and years, and it's never happened for me. And a couple years ago, I received flowers for the first time in 2018. And but what I had done, the way I had to beat this dude down to get these, could take the charge off. I mean, beat him down. And I mean, when I say that, I mean mentally. I mean, like, the stuff I had, the things I was saying, the things I was, I'm just so, listen, I would be ashamed to explain the whole story. However, I'm free. I'm not ashamed. That's why I'm telling you about it. What I realized was I've always taught this stuff. One of the things I quote, Jesus said that you should love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, that you should love your neighbor as yourself.
Right.
And everybody's hollering, nobody's keeping that commandment. No one's keeping that commandment. Mm-hmm. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. You're expecting people to do something better for you than they do for themselves.
Oh.
If you self-sabotage and you sabotage something, what am I upset about? Why am I angry? If you are late for all of your appointments, and then I'm waiting on you to do something for me and you're late, why am I upset?
Right.
You're loving me exactly the same way you're loving yourself.
Amen.
So let us let people off the hook with that stuff.
I got
because my question is, who's loving you? While you are worrying about mom, dad, sister, cousin, friend, I was looking at a post, and I hear people venting about how they do so much for people and nobody, people don't do for them. And that used to be my song, because let me tell you something. When it comes to doing for folk, you want to talk about the GOAT? Baby, I'm the GOAT. And the thing is, I would do people's weddings, right? Now I'm supposed to be being paid for this. I'm doing people's weddings, and I see how their bridal party is treating them, or how certain things are going down. And even as a wedding planner, I've done bridal showers. I have done rehearsal dinners. I have helped people. I have allowed people to pay me late or not at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always felt like, I was taught that sowing and reaping, that you get what. Let me just say this. I always hollered this main thing I treat people the way I want to be treated. I treat people the way I want to be treated. No, sis, you treating people the way you want to be treated, and then you're expecting them to treat you the way you want to be treated. Right. So what you're doing is you're showing them, you're doing for them, expecting them to do for you.
Right.
But baby, when the lights went on, that I could cut the middleman out, because Valentine's Day is Monday. Isn't it Monday?
Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Okay, Valentine's Day is Sunday. But guess who my Valentine is this year?
Who? You.
Me, boo. Let me tell you something. I had it all twisted. I was so upset about how people didn't celebrate me. How people didn't. Honey, let me tell you, I threw more surprise parties and birthdays and events and this. In that very same church situation, honey, I have given, gave, in every facet of the word. And guess what? Don't nobody owe me nothing, because the way I was sowing, my expectations were somebody was going to do this for me. Why am I waiting for someone to do for me things that have been at my hands for the longest time?
Right.
The way this thing go now is, let me tell you, if you see Dee today and how Dee treats Dee, and you step to Dee, even an iota less than the way Dee treat Dee, we never have no conversation. But there was a time when I would let myself be dogged because my esteem gauge was dim, so low, and I felt like I needed to pay rent to be in other people's world.
Wow.
That's how low my esteem was. But when I got to LA and I saw that a lot of times the reason why you weren't included, a lot of times why folks didn't want you around, a lot of times why people didn't want, because really, sis, you that chick. Your personality opens up the entire room. There is not a party that somebody would, like most of my friends have parties. They don't want to have a party if I'm not there. Okay?
Right.
I bring the noise. I bring light. But I didn't understand. I didn't know. So now what's happening is I'm out here trying to get people to buy a product I don't believe in. I'm out here false advertising like a mug because I need you to get to the business of loving me. I need you to get to the business of making me feel good about myself. So, next question.
Hey, well, I got an excerpt from the book, man, and
okay,
and you know. So let me read this. I'm gonna give y'all a sneak peek out here, man. So the journey to unconditional love is grueling. It requires undoing all the years of conditioning that have brought you to where you are. While you're not at fault in your way of thinking, because blame has no place in this process. Placing blame serves you nothing, nor will it secure your mental freedom. My road has certainly not been easy, but I'm here to let you know that it is possible to fall deeply in love with yourself and thereby live out your purpose in total and unconditional love.
Absolutely.
You live in what you live in this shit.
I'm loving it.
Obviously, this is obvious. This is evident in your life.
What happened is this. From the time we are born, okay? Now this is the situation. It's not many African Americans who are here in this country who were not descendants of slaves.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So these people that got this bad deal gave birth to people who got a bad deal, gave birth to people who got a bad deal, who gave people who got a bad deal, who gave birth to me. Right?
Right.
So now that we have all these people who have, nobody knew any better. Let me tell you when it went on for me. Now this is gonna be scary for some people, morbid for some others, but everybody's scared to die or has had a thing where you go through this thought process and you're like freaking out because I gotta die one day, right?
Right.
I don't care who you talk to try to feel better or get you in a place where you're comfortable about that. There is nobody, because there's nobody who has been there who can come back and tell you what it's like and that you good and that it's okay and that everything is everything.
Right.
Because of that, There is nobody who is equipped to help you with that. It's the same thing with love. There is nobody who is equipped to help you with that because of the fact that they're going to tell you exactly what they were told. This fairy tale culture that we perpetuate when we have kids and we tell them your prince is going to come or your princess is going to come, you setting them up. You setting them up for this lovely hair. So now what happens is you got these little girls who get their little princess outfit. They got their dishes. They got their toys. I mean, they got their dishes. They got their dollies. They got their easy bake oven. These are her toys. Across the street, Billy he playing cops and robbers. He got guns. He got PlayStation. He got toys.
Oh yeah.
Now let's look at what she got. That ain't no damn game. She prepping for life. This sister is getting ready. So why are we preparing these princesses and letting these princes play? And then somehow we supposed to meet up and be ready on the same page. Now, these kids born the same year. You got a 2-year-old over here, a 2-year-old across the street. Now, at 16, when they in high school, and they meet up now because now she's already ready. Now they telling her she hot and that she fast, but you've been prepping her from 4 for keeping house, having babies, being a mama,
all that.
Why are we not sitting the computer in front of sis? Why are we not prepping her for something? Why? But generationally, ancestral roles were the woman stayed at home and kept the kids, and the man went out to work. So ancestry has some women trying to struggle with a job, a career, and having children, because when I was being raised, when I was told that one day my prince is going to come, I'm going to have love, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to have children, I'm going to do all those things, and all those things are prioritized, even in the gifts that I'm given and the way that I'm handled. But this little boy at 13, y'all gonna smack him aside his head, tell him stop crying, tell him to be a man. And he been able to play for 12 and a half years. But yet in 3 years, he gonna be her boyfriend. And she been ready. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So now, these are the ideas of love that we have. Who said to that little chocolate girl with a gap in her teeth, who was 3 shades darker than the other 3 siblings, that your difference between those 3 is beautiful and unique? You're not less, they're not better. You are beautiful and so are they. Who said esteem is the first thing we build in a child? Who said any of those things? I'll wait. But, oh, my little princess, and we put the crown up. We had a baby shower. You got the kings and the queens and the crowns and all that kind of stuff. But nobody is working on, when a child is born whole. That child need only be supported into who they are, to love who they are. Immediately, we're taught, you got to share. You got to be this. You got to do that. Everything is outside. Everything is outside.
Right.
When God made us totally whole, and when we get in the hands of people who aren't whole, the deconstruction begins.
I'm going to tell you something that's weird, though. And you're correct on that. Everything is on the outside, but at the same time, everything is geared towards the individual. So you have people that are individualists that have no idea about what happens on the outside of them. Does that make sense? And so they're operating almost, they're pulling at each other. That's what I see a lot of, young people going through now. It's like all of this outside stimuli comes in, but they don't really have the inner individual.
Right. And I mean, that's been all of our trauma.
Yeah.
Because somebody told mama that she was going to find love. Somebody told grandmama she was going to find love. And let me say this thing. I was sitting there the other day. I was watching some show, and this girl talked about how she cheated with her cousin's husband. And her cousin immediately knew that it was her husband because her cousin is the only one in the family who's married. Generationally, how many marriages, I know maybe down south it was more than it was where I come from, but how many positive relationships have you seen? People are trying to mimic what they were told love is.
Right.
People are trying to feel, let alone if you see somebody, oh my gosh, let a girl and a guy you grew up that been together since they was 12 and they together at 18 and then they together at 25 and 30 and everybody think that they were the ones that found true love and then somehow there's something wrong with me. Let me tell you something. The true love that I have found with myself suffices. And the reason why I say it suffices is because I was always wanting more, because that thing that I was told that existed, this fairy tale culture is so damaging because it has us, when you are looking for something that does not exist, you will then try to recreate it. And just like they got them damn Build-A-Bear shops in the mall, you got sisters building a man. And the crazy thing about Build-A-Man is that there's that pressure too, especially, I'm gonna tell you, in the church. When there was a ministry that I joined, and I have so many family members from it. I absolutely am so grateful for this place. There was a ministry that I joined, and I remember I was 24, and I had a 2-year-old son. And I remember the different leadership deacons or elders that I would interact with from every now and then. There would be a question I would be asked every now and then. So has the Lord spoken to you about who your husband is yet? So do you know who has the Lord revealed who your husband is? So with that kind of pressure,
right,
along with the fact that I'm still trying to reconcile that I got to go through life with this black skin. Because let me tell you, from a child growing up with lighter siblings, it was an inner struggle. Because listen, 3 of these things belong together. 3 of these things are kind of the same. But one of these things just doesn't belong here. That song used to traumatize me on Soul Train, Sesame Street, because the 3 of them were different.
right.
And when it said one of these things just doesn't belong here, I took that to mean me.
Oh no.
But anyway, all that to say that I had all those things. So now I'm looking for that person that's going to love me, going to love that unlovable little chocolate girl, that's going to love that girl that nobody else wanted, that's going to want. Who want that? That's so pitiful. But what happens is dude comes in loving me. Now I can, you know what I'm saying? There's some buoyancy now. I got a little pep to my step because somebody is in my corner. I got love. Now, let me tell you something. If you have 0 self-love and somebody comes in with 100% love, how? How is this thing supposed to work? I have no love for me. All the love's coming from you. Now, when I'm feeling worse, bad, everything, all this stuff is pulling on you. So now that draining, that is a lot of responsibility. But if that person was free to love me the way they wanted to, if that person was free to love me in the capacity to which they were allowed, or the capacity that they hold, then it would be freeing. But instead, it's like this. So now, when that person leaves, I'm bawling. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I can't think. I can't do anything. I can't do any of that. You know why I can't do any of those things? Because they left with the love. Now I'm at a deficit. I'm at the same deficit I was when they showed up. So what I did was I went and took care of business. I re-up myself. I handle me. I take care of her. I make sure she get everything she's supposed. Let me see what kind of friends I got. They know what kind of girl I am. They know what kind of girl I am. So what I'm saying is, you are requiring somebody to do something you ain't doing. And then you got an attitude because they not doing it right. What you bringing to the table? I'm 164 pounds. I want you to hold all this. I say that out loud after being 240. 164 pounds. And I want you to hold this and yours? No, I should be able to do about 84 of that, 82 of that.
Right.
So, next.
I think we kind of covered a lot of that. We even went into the deceiving children part. So you have a journal that comes with your book. Let's talk about Who's Loving You, Boo. Let's talk about
Who's loving you, boo?
yeah, let's talk about the actual book itself, because I think that the people out here need to know about that. They need to know where they can get that at. So when is it dropping first and foremost?
It's actually dropping on the 28th in print. The journal's hardback, the book's softback. The reason we're doing it that way is because, of course, the journal will be with you much longer, right?
Right.
And the work that is necessary, because what I do is there's points that I pause in the book to allow you to go to the workbook, to think about what's going on and to try to work with,
Right.
There's some self-evaluation, some inner child work, some really, just evaluating how you see love. What does that mean to you? What does that look like? And is that based off of an ancestral or generational view, or is that experiential? Is that something that you've actually experienced yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I think the journal was so important because one of the things I noticed is you notice a lot of what everybody else got going on or how good things are, somebody else's thing. You looking over there. But gratitude is where you need to start, because that was the thing. I was always in so much pain because I saw so much of what I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
But who is taking inventory of what you do have? You know what I'm saying? The smallest thing to the biggest thing, because there's some big stuff going on. Like right now, I'm just grateful to finally be in a space where I'm not tormented by my own misery. And that's what's happening in the world. That's what's happening with people. Everybody talk about, oh, I can't be around her. She's so toxic. She's so this one is that. We are all having a human experience, boo. We're having a human experience. And love is the ultimate, is the high unconditional love is the purpose. That's the highest goal. But if we were seeing about that, the world wouldn't be in this space, that state that it's in. Because individually, you have to be a vessel. First of all, I'm a vessel and I'm loveless. So now I'm taking my loveless ass out here to do what? With who? Where? If I'm on E, where am I going to be given?
Right.
What am I doing here?
Right.
So what has to happen is we have to be full. We have to understand, first of all, that you're handcrafted by the master who don't make no junk. Like, let me tell you something. We got to pause real quick.
Go ahead.
We just got to pause real quick.
Go ahead.
Because, listen, you see this hair? You see this hair? Now, y'all see some pictures. I've done that different looks challenge. Let me tell you, you have seen every hairstyle on me. You have seen every color. You've seen all that. And each one of those things, like, there were so many things I had to do to pull off this black skin in my sight. Now, this is my own view. I don't need nobody else tell me. They'd be like, oh, I can't believe you're saying that about you. That's me. I was in here. I've been in here 54 years. I'm inside here from the outside, from the inside looking out. Right. So I had to wear this. And I was so disenchanted. I was so displeased with I bleach baths. When lace fronts came out, honey, I was saving up money. I was saving up money also for my surgery. I wanted dermabrasion. I wanted braces. I wanted to close this gap. Well, how many of us are deconstructing, just totally breaking this whole thing down to build up something in our mind based off of sights, seeing the things that are all around? All these things are pulling us into this space where we're now less. But if the people who we were handed to after the doctor smacked our booty knew how to, people joke, people talk a lot of stuff about how Will and Jada raised their children. And I hear a lot of how Gammy, her mom talks about what she would have done, how her kids were. That's the exact thing I'm talking about. They allowed to see who those children were in a home, who those children are, so they can be who they are. What happens is you getting smacked, you're getting beat into submission. Think about a child who got beat all the time for being stingy, right? And then they grow up and they stingy. You couldn't beat it out of them.
Still,
You couldn't beat it out of them because that was who they were. So what you needed to do was teach the other children to have their own. Right? So what happens is now you get in a situation with somebody who you care and you love about and they're friends and they're stingy. And now you got an attitude with them because they won't share with you and they don't owe you that.
No, you should.
The only person who owes you anything is you. And if you taking care of you and getting everything you need, everything else, let me tell you this. My last thing about this piece. A spruce pine is a majestic tree. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous, statuesque, living thing that God created.
Right.
Now, someone will go in the forest, chop that thing down during the holiday season, bring it in the house. When you bring that thing in the house and put it on the stand, it is a tall, statuesque, gorgeous genus of a plant, right?
Right.
Then you start to put garland and you start to put ornaments and you start to put lights, right?
Right.
Now, look at this tree. It's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. That thing was gorgeous without those lights. That thing was gorgeous without those ornaments.
Yeah.
Right? But those things are ornamental beauty.
Right.
Right? So when you love yourself, as do I, and you are surrounded by the wonderful people that I have in my life, I have those that are available without end, and I have those that sometimes can and cannot.
Right.
I am not stressing on either because they are all free to love me the way that they want to love me because I'm good. Everything that I need, sis God, I love me so much, honey. Let me tell you something. Valentine's Day with me by myself in a bathtub with a bottle of bubbly, it's going to be okay because, see, I'm not looking at what I was missing when I see this couple and all that. What I was missing was total love for this. And when I look in the mirror and I see how gorgeous this girl was that I was sleeping on, child. Can you even imagine? I can't even imagine that it was going on. But I was convinced that she was ugly, that she wasn't enough, that people just didn't celebrate her. And let me tell you, when this world ain't got to go back together. When April 30th come again, let the Lord say I'm here. I don't need nobody throw me nothing. Hear me what I say?
I hear what you say.
Nothing.
Man, we should be charging for all this good game you spend out here tonight, man. Like
I am charging. It's
I feel
$19.95 for the book and
man.
$24.95 for the journal.
Hey,
www.who'slovingyouBoo.com. Let me tell you, they have been giving me heck on that site. You guys, please just give me patience. The site has been acting up. It is a little, my email address is there, Coach Dee at who'slovingyouBoo.com. Please hit me up. I'm going to be, let me just say this.
what do I need to do to grab some wholesale from you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just grab some. I'll buy them from you just so I could give out to some people.
Okay, hit me up hit me up out of here. I'll tell you how you do that. But we wrapping up with 7 minutes. I just want to say this. When we're talking about the healing piece and what it takes to get to the place of, I outlined what I had to do. We got to shine a light on some dark places. Accountability is first.
Right.
And part of my life, I was so addicted to pain and blame. It was easy for me to talk about who's not doing for me, who ain't doing this, and how they don't do it, and how I keep doing this. And I would keep doing and feeling less and feeling less. But when it came to do for me, I couldn't see that because I felt that there was some kind of glory in suffering. And that's the other thing that, that came with that whole church mentality. You know what I'm saying?
That's a weird mentality, man. And I ain't
That
gonna
deferred gratification and all that, thinking that, I'm less, I'm this, I'm that.
Right.
So what the healing that is necessary requires that you make sure you take that time out for yourself. First of all, read the contract, and then I'll talk about that.
Yeah, let me go ahead and read over the contract. That's definitely what I wanted to hit. And let me get it here. I'm gonna tell you something I always look forward to, man. I always like the very first line and like first 2 sentences of a book.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know. But it had excerpt over it, so I couldn't see exactly everything on there. I wanted to start out with that, but what I was able to decipher out of that was like powerful. Could you read the opening paragraph to your book? Do you have it available?
The opening paragraph is blocked out. Which one?
Like at the beginning. Let me show you on my phone real quick. I'm gonna be ghetto real quick. So when I went to
Hang
do
on, I'll pull it up on my
yeah, when I went to do it, you see that like at the it's just kind of covering the front part, so I can't really, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, is that the intro?
Yeah, it's like it says, it's just like says
Turn
excerpt.
it sideways.
Yeah, even sideways. So yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I was able to decipher a lot of it, man. But like I said, that's usually the most powerful. That's the grab. That's the hook.
What can you see? Because I if I do that, I would have to go off. I actually started to have the I'm actually not home, okay? So
Oh,
I had the hang on a second. Is there a way I can go here? Because I thought I should be able to share.
well, even I mean, the
Oh,
actual.
okay. Here we go.
Go
I
ahead.
got it.
Go
I
ahead.
got it. I got it. I got it. Give me a second, guys.
Then I got the contract queued up too. Whenever we're ready, I'll go ahead and go
Okay.
over that, and let's see if we can't get some people signed up.
Why is this not going small? This thing is crazy.
So
Okay. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yes.
Okay. You're talking about, was it the preface?
It was the beginning of the purpose. Yes, I think it was the very first. Yeah.
Let us begin with the disclaimer. I'm neither a psychologist nor a psychiatric professional. No information within these pages is meant to serve as advice from either. However, everything that I'm sharing is based on my own self-proven methods that resulted in my success in becoming the love of my own life. That is paragraph 1.
Yes, I like that. And what I was able to decipher most of that, but I couldn't read it word for word. But I think that that's the most important part of a book. That's what makes me want to go a little bit further, because a lot of times the things that society prescribes to us, like psychiatrists or psychologists or whatnot, really aren't the answer either. Because a lot of times those are very damaged people who just have degrees and can tell you, they can, they got a building and they can sit down and talk to you, but they really
Right.
tell you and offer the people what you're offering the people. So with that being said, I'm gonna go into the 30-day. I mean, not the 30-day, but hold on.
Yeah, it's a
That's
30.
a 30-day. Yes.
It's a 30-day contract because basically what I'm saying is, set aside. You have to go into contract with yourself for this process.
Yes. So I'll say this. I'll just say it for mine because I feel like I'll go ahead and subscribe to it. I'll do it on the show. So I, Michael McDonald, understand that I am on a quest to love and value myself more. I commit to prioritizing my own care, needs, dreams, and goals for the next 30 days. I understand that it takes roughly 28 days to form a new habit. I acknowledge that I have already spent 42 years in the practice of prioritizing others. So taking 30 days for myself should not be thought of as robbery. I agree to daily positive self-talk and to create and recite daily affirmations to raise my esteem. I will participate in 30 me time magic moments and the equivalent of setting aside time for myself once daily during this process. This will get me into the habit of taking time for myself. As I also begin healing, I promise to give myself grace for my shortcomings and to be accountable for all that is within my control. I am worthy of the love that I have given away to others, and I will now experience it. Sign the big mic drop, Michael McDonald.
Okay.
So I took it on the show.
That's what I'm talking about. Now you owe yourself that. Now with those me time magic moments, let me talk about that real quick.
Let's talk about
With
that.
the me time magic moments is my own little coin phrase where, take some time out and do those things for yourself that you've been waiting on other folks to do for you. You know what I'm saying? Do those things for yourself, those bubble baths, those massages, those things. And we're going to be offering on my page, Instagram, Coach Dee, Coach_D143 Instagram. Me Time Magic Moment kits, baskets. We're going to be having all kinds of body, bath and body. We have body butters and bath salts and oils but all kind of good stuff. And we have several different. I have some beautiful young Black queens that are in business that we could show love to. That I'm going to show love to with these baskets on a monthly basis. I have my girl Keisha from Skin Within in Philly, Brianna with Honey Bronze Honey, my Chris G's. There's gonna be some Chris G's, some Can of Care by Chris G's, and some of these kids. Listen, gotta take care of yourself, people. We got some Can of Care. You gotta take care of yourself because we're waiting on other folks. You are the CEO of your corporation. You are the CEO of Michael. I am the CEO of D. Absolutely. And therefore, the care, all those things, those a corporation, the structure, all that set up by the CEO, it's run the way the CEO sees fit.
Right.
And now when other people come to be employed, they're trained on how the structure of the corporation is set up.
Yeah, the culture.
Right. So now you can't just come in here and do me any old kind of way. It's just not going down.
Right.
So that being said, we are selling books. Valentine's weekend is gonna be some giveaways. Pre-sales are going up. The link is going to be on my Square link is going to be on the site where you could actually buy your copy. I encourage you to get the book and the journal. However, you can do the book without the journal. The book does make a concession for people who don't buy the journal, but I encourage you to buy the journal because the journal is going to be where you look back, see where you come from, see your progress. Right. That was the best part of my entire journey. And digging up these roots, know, because everything that you've seen, all the pain, all the things that you've seen, all the acting, now that's all apples and oranges. That's fruit. We have to stop chopping trees down. We got to dig them up at the root. Deal with this trauma. Deal with the inner me.
Yes.
Love all of you. Then come love me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I want to hear about. Stop telling me about. I love you. I do this for that one. I do this for that one. Who love? Why you loving everybody else? Who's loving you, boo?
Because.
Thank you, cousin.
You're welcome, man. I can't. I gotta go ahead and. I wish I had the applause going on like the whole background thing. Hey, I appreciate you for coming on. And
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you for, like I say, chopping up this good game. I wish I would have put it on Patreon so I could have charged folks. So this was free.
Well, listen, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again because listen, I'm getting ready to start my IGTV show, which is Let's Talk About Love with Coach Dee.
Okay.
And we're going to discuss every week. I'm going to have a guest. I'm going to have a giveaway. We're going to discuss the book. Also, before we go, I want to offer 2 free coaching sessions to somebody. You want to hit me up on my email. 2 free coaching sessions to anybody who wants to love themselves more, prioritize themselves. We didn't get anywhere into the whole weight loss piece. You know what I'm saying? So we got to come on again so we can talk about that whole thing, because what I found for myself, being overweight all those years, is that the physical weight is a manifestation of that mental stuff that we're carrying. So it's not until you can deal with and get healed. See, now where I am, I love me so much, I'm not going to put that harmful stuff in me to hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before, I didn't care. Child, please.
Right. I mean, pork.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
So all those things, it's all a reflection. Some people have health reasons as to why their weight is where it is. But for me and for many people, you're carrying so much. So I want to help y'all lift the weight. I want to help you love yourself. I want to help you win. I want to help you get in control. Because so as long as you are dependent for love on an outside source, you remain enslaved. Who's loving you, boo?
Oh man. Hey, with that, hey, happy Valentine's Day to you.
Happy love day to you too, cuz.
Happy love day to you, cuz. I love you.
I love you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I appreciate you being a part of this kickoff. The kickoff weekend is on and popping.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me be a part of it. And I look forward to, doing more shows. We'll be talking.
Absolutely.
Because I got some friends, man. We got a lot of stuff going on. So we need to talk and let's just see, see what we can link up.
Absolutely. And you guys, I'm gonna put the merchandise on there too. Okay. I will put the shirts up. We got free love, we got love you boo, we got whole is the goal. Because that's the only mission. It's in the book. Our only mission is wholeness. Whole is the goal. Let's get it, y'all.
Whole is the goal. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Dee. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much, cuz.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic. All right, y'all.